It is the cleanest of clean finishes from the best on the planet.
It's time for the biggest sports stories.
Liverpool, the champions of Europe, are top of the world.
The biggest interviews.
That such a great spectacle is ruined by such thuggish behavior.
And all the analysis right here.
He's the one player that has the arrogance to think that he can play in any stadium in the world and any pitch in the world in front of any player in the world and take them on.
Every weekday, it's my sport, it's your sport. It's ZiFM Sport. Let's join the team for the biggest show in the world of sport on ZiFM Stereo. My station, your station.
This is ZiFM Sport on a Thursday. Welcome to it. My name is Chris, and you know how we do it on a Thursday. We keep it short and sweet, and we bring you closer to your favorite sports stars. Tonight, we feature one of the most decorated, if not the most decorated gymnasts of all time. Her name is Simona Biles. She's only 23 years old, but she's managed to break a number of records, and she already has 4 moves in gymnastics named after her. With a combined total of 30 Olympic and World Championship medals, Biles is the most decorated American gymnast and the world's 3rd most decorated gymnast overall. This is behind a gentleman from Belarus and a lady from Russia, Larisa Leitning, with 32 medals. So she's the gymnast with the most world medals, that's 25, the most world gold medals, 19, and she's surpassed Sherbo's record of 23 medals, winning her 24th and 25th, both gold, at the 2019 competition in Stuttgart.
Hi, this is Alexandra Maseko, and I'm the national basketball team captain, and you're listening to ZiFM Sport.
She was born in March 1997 in Columbus, Ohio, the 3rd of 4 siblings, but her mother was unable to care for her or her siblings, and they all went in and out of foster care until 2000, when her maternal grandfather, Ron Biles, and his second wife began to care for them, eventually adopting them full-time. So she started training at the age of 8, and not necessarily because she was particularly a great gymnast, but because her grandmother wanted her to expend her energy somewhere, and her grandmother points to the fact that there was no specific talent, and this brings us to the importance of exposure for Simona Biles and how she started training simply as a way to while up time. Her elite career began at the age of 14 in 2011 at the American Classic in Houston. She placed 20th all-round, 5th on balance beam and floor exercise, and in a complete change in 2012, her grandparents switched her from public school to homeschooling, which allowed her to increase her training from 20 to 32 hours per week, and this significant change was seen as she managed to place 1st all-round at the American Classic and also gained her a spot at the 2012 USA Gymnastics National Championships. At the age of 16, she became the 7th American woman and the 1st African American to win the World All-Round title. In 2014, at the World Gymnastics Championships, she became the 2nd American woman to repeat as a World All-Round champion, and she left the championship with a tally of 6 gold medals, the most ever won by an American gymnast. 2015, even better, she managed to win this consecutive all-round title the 3rd time, and she was named for the 2016 Summer Rio Olympics, where she managed to get 4 gold medals, and she set the record for the most gold medals in women's gymnastics at a single games and equaled a number of other records with her medals won in Rio. In 2017, she took the entire year off and only resumed training in 2018. After the 2016 Rio Games, she co-wrote an autobiography with journalist Michelle Burford, Courage to Soar, A Body in Motion, which became a New York Times bestseller. In 2018, upon making a comeback, she managed to get 4 gold, 1 silver, and 1 bronze at the World Championships. Interestingly, she competed with a kidney stone and self-discharged from hospital the night before she was actually supposed to compete. In March 2019, she competed at the Stuttgart World Cup, her first World Cup appearance not on American soil. She finished in 1st place, winning 5 medals. She tied the record for the most gold medals won at a single World Championship, and this had only been accomplished in 1958. She's won a number of awards, including the ESPY Best Female Athletes. She won the Laureus World Sports Award for the Sportswoman of the Year 3 times, and she was named one of the most influential people girl in the world by Time magazine. She's been a Nike-sponsored athlete since 2015 and received endorsements from companies such as Beats by Dre, Procter & Gamble, and Kellogg's. Now, in this interview, she talks through the Olympics in Rio, her growth and finding her own voice in terms of gymnastics and using her platform, and also the basic things like adulting, buying her own house, and how she managed to navigate that with the help of her grandparents. How does she train? How many hours does she spend in the gym on a daily basis? And what was it like working with some of the different individuals at USA Gymnastics? She's managed to take a year off, and she explains what her body goes through during competitions, but more from a mental stress and pressure consideration. She also explains some of the things she does and how physically she sometimes feels like she's having an out-of-body experience. Apart from her own athletic ambitions and what she's managed to achieve so far, she also talks us through some pretty normal stuff. Her favorite TV show, missing her boyfriend, and also her dog. Here she is, Simona Biles.
So right now a training day looks like I'll wake up about 6:20, 6:30 whenever I just decide to get out of bed. And then I have breakfast, take my dog out, whatnot, head to gym around 7:35, get here around 7:45, and then we start practice from 8 to 11:30. And then we go on break, so I'll go home, eat lunch, whatever, I have my dog, do whatever. And then I'll take a nap, take a shower, and then I'll come back. And then I work out from 3 to 5:30, 6, or whenever we finish for the night. Yeah, because I feel like we get gross, so I go home, shower before I take a nap or anything. I was shocked. But you almost don't even have time to process everything, because everything at the Olympics happens so quick. The days, the times, the competitions. It took me almost a year out to actually realize for everything to set in of what happened, because it's almost like a whirlwind and you do so much after. You don't have time to look back and see what you did. It's like, okay, on to the next. We have the next meet. We have this, we have that. We got to fly home. We have to do the Today Show. Like, it just gets so crazy. You don't even have time to stop and think and, like, I don't know, relish the moment almost.
What about when it quieted down? Did you go like,
I feel like
I'm all that, actually?
Yeah. I feel like it's never calmed down yet. It's still going, and I'm ramping up again, so it'll be another process, hopefully, but we'll see. Team finals, just because that's when we won our first medal, and that was the most exciting, just because we actually had a medal and we were all so excited about it, and it didn't seem real at first. We slept with them under our pillows, and we would wake up and make sure they were there, even in the morning.
That's cute.
We were just like, oh my gosh, is it there? Did we still win? Like, it was just kind of crazy and surreal. Sometimes, I wanted to come back. That was the original plan, but I feel like a lot of people almost talked me out of not coming back, because they're like, you went to the Olympics, you got 5 medals, what more can you do? And I'm like, oh, you're right, what more can I do? So I'm like, oh, maybe I should quit, because everyone's telling me, you don't need to go back, you're fine. But I still have a passion for the sport, and I think that's why I do it. Oh gosh, I feel like I'm my own person rather than everybody telling me who I should be. But I feel like I've grown a lot, and I'm older, more mature. I feel like since 2016, I've done a lot of adulting, like outside.
Don't ever do that.
I know, I should have gone back, man. But I don't know.
How so?
I've grown a lot.
Like what kind of adulting?
Moved out. I did have my own apartment. I mean, I have a dog now.
You're a mom.
I know, I'm a dog mom. That's crazy.
You moved out? Mm-hmm. You left your mom?
Yeah.
I wouldn't leave that.
But I only moved down the street, so it really wasn't that hard.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. It feels good, but it's also sort of scary, because now anybody will say, well, Simone, they'll listen to you. You just tweet it, or you do this. And that's the
Speak, Simone.
Yeah, basically. They won't listen to us, but they'll listen to you. So, you have your boundaries. But it's definitely another part of adulting and maturing and finding out who you are and what you stand for. And I'm all about positivity. So I feel like if it's in a positive manner, I don't mind. But if it's something that will go both ways, I might as well just let other people do the talking, and I'll just look over and see how it's going from afar. I feel like it was more for the girls, because I feel like a lot of what she stood for didn't stand with...
Who's she?
Mary Bono?
Right.
for the company, and I know we lost, or not we, they, USA Gymnastics, a lot of sponsors and everything that happened over the course of the past year. So you have to be very strategic with everything that you do. And I feel like she probably didn't think about that. So then, you know, we had Nike looking in on us. Then there goes her tweet viral. Nope, can't get Nike.
Yeah.
And so you lose that for the company, the business, for the athletes. And I feel like the athletes have to come first before your beliefs.
Absolutely.
It's a balance, but I also feel like I choose my battles wisely. It's not everything that comes up like the first to hit. I know we just got a new president or CEO, right? And then everyone's tweeting me, what do you think? What do you think? And I mean, I think it'll be pretty nice. I think
I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Lili Lung?
I don't know how to pronounce it, but I know she was a gymnast at Michigan in college somewhere, but I don't know her history.
NBA now, or
yes,
did?
Yes,
no, she's left the NBA.
So I think she's very knowledgeable. So I think that'll be good to have on the team and see how it goes. So
she seems that she was right on point with her statements, which was a nice change of pace from their past.
I feel like last time they probably put statements out too quick, didn't really think about it, because some of them they almost had to turn around and delete real quick and do it again, and you just have to think about those things even if it takes time. I think we're heading in the right direction, especially with the athletes. I think we feel comfortable the placement that we're at, but I mean, it all comes down to the head of the company. They need to do something on their end. We can only do what we were raised and trained to do. We're still going to bring back medals for the U.S., but you guys are the ones that have to make USA Gymnastics look good. We'll bring back the medals as the athletes and the gymnasts, but you still have to pull up your part. I feel like it's more of the stress that has a wear and tear on your body, because physically we're trained to do it and mentally, but the stress factor really gets you down and you just get exhausted and tired and you almost have to push through your exhaustion. But we were so well prepared at the Olympics, weeks before. We're like, can we compete now? Can we compete now? And it's almost like we were overtrained for it, because we had done so many sets. And we were just like, okay, I could literally do this in my sleep at this point.
Let's get this party started, right?
Yes, we were so ready.
Did you ever wear your 5 medals at the same time? And
I did.
Did your neck hurt after that?
Yes, they're actually pretty heavy. The medals themselves are really heavy, and I don't think anybody realizes that. So you go to photo shoots and they're like, okay, for 2 hours you're gonna have these on, and I'm like, no, you don't understand. Do you want to feel one? And then you give them one. They're like, oh, they are heavy. I'm like, yeah. So you're trying to ask me to wear 5 of them, but it is kind of crazy. But I prefer not to wear them just because it's heavier.
Where do you keep them?
In a safe.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say your underwear drawer.
No,
because that's what most
some people
Olympians
put them in socks, but they're in their cases.
Who is that?
Yeah.
Girl? Really?
Yeah, sometimes it's crazy.
Where does that come from? It's almost an out-of-body experience?
Yes, a lot of the time I actually feel like it is an out-of-body experience.
Huh.
How so? I'm so fascinated.
Lie down on the white couch over there, please.
Right. So it's just so crazy.
Let's hear more about this.
Yes.
Is it, you think, because you get so into the zone while you're competing?
I think so, and I think I don't realize how difficult the skills are that I'm doing, and how the form is and everything. I just think, okay, another turn, let's go. And then I'll watch the video sometimes. I'm like, that's me? I can do that? How did I do that? It just doesn't seem real.
Wow. And then, on top of it, you add a kidney stone into the equation. Mm-hmm. What would have happened if you didn't even have that? You got 4 golds.
Yes.
Let's talk worlds. So World Championships, 4 golds, 1 silver, 1 bronze, correct?
Yes.
After taking a year off.
Yes.
After having a kidney stone.
Yes.
Okay, take me to the hospital that night. Nellie, were you with her?
No, I did not go with her. I was at the hotel. And because everyone said they had it under control, I did not think it was a kidney stone. I figure maybe it was gastritis she was having. Because
honey, you just have bad gas.
No, not really, because I figure she was stressed. So I figure maybe something to help calm the nerves down and the stomach down. So that was my first thought.
I mentioned, remember, I said, Mom, what if I have a kidney stone? And everyone's like, oh, please.
And then that was my response to the kidney stone when she said that.
Because I was looking up symptoms and everything.
I'm like, why is she diagnosing herself? No, it's gastritis, or maybe to me, worst case scenario would be appendicitis.
Yeah, we thought it was either that or a kidney stone, but I was like, I think it's a kidney stone. And then they were like, whatever, no, it's not.
Okay, so you go to the hospital.
No. And I feel like at this point I could barely walk because earlier before my parents came to the hotel room, I was literally crawling on the floor. So I would go to sleep to take the pain away. So then we took a nap because they fell asleep because they had just flown in. So they fell asleep and then I went to sleep. We were on this like little twin bed and then I woke up and the pain was still there. But while I was sleeping it was gone. So I was like, oh, it's good. And then I told her I think I need, what did I say? I didn't think I need to go to the doctor, but you said go see the...
You had to go to the emergency room. Somehow I figured she had to.
So go tonight.
Just to make sure we rule out that it's nothing serious.
Right.
And
Good
so
thing you did, huh?
That was all it was, just to rule out that it's not whatever, and
so that you stop self-diagnosing.
Yes. Indeed.
So then we had my doctor and my coach, and we went to the hospital. And since we were in Qatar, I mean, it's different. There's a women's wing and a men's wing, and the men aren't allowed.
And I didn't even think about that because none of them could have been with her because she was in a women's wing. If I was there, then that doesn't work.
And like the language barrier wasn't too bad, so I was okay. But I told them like, sorry, I'm a top athlete. Like they're not leaving. Well, they can't stand here. I said, I don't care. Like I'm in a foreign place, and that was the first time I actually thought I was adulting. I was in a foreign country, language barrier, and I took myself. I was in the doctor by myself. I was like, that's ultimate adulting because here I won't even go to the doctor by myself.
Oh, slow clap.
Yes.
For Simone.
Yes. So then we were there, and then the doctor's coming, and they're pressing, and I had this IV in for like forever, actually. And we're going from room to room. They're wheeling me around in a wheelchair.
Speaking a language you don't even understand.
Yeah, I just thought it was ridiculous. I was like, I can walk. And they're like, no, you need to sit here. I'm like, whatever. Did some tests, and he said, have you ever had a kidney stone before? And I said, no. Like, no. He's like, well, are you active? I'm like, yes, I train. He's like, do you drink a lot of water? I said, yes.
Wait, he didn't know that you were competing in the World Championships?
No, they knew a top athlete was... Yeah, they knew a top athlete was coming in, but they didn't really suspect anything. And so then I was like laying on the table, and he was like, you see that thing right there? You have a kidney stone. And I said, yeah, whatever. And I said, excuse me, did you just tell me I had a kidney stone? He said, yes, you have a kidney stone. And I was like, okay, well, I need to go home. He's like, well, I just told you had a kidney stone. I said, well, thanks for the information, but I compete tomorrow, but thank you for letting me know what it was. So I discharged myself, actually. I used to do a full out, so I used to do an extra half twist, which I competed at the Olympics as well. And I landed short one time, and then like I partially tore my calf muscle, whatever. And
whatever, kidney stone,
yeah,
torn calf muscle.
Yes, and they said if you do a turn less, then you'll face forward. That will save your ankles, your calves, whatever. And nobody's ever done it. So if you get to do it at Worlds, maybe you could get it named after you. And so I started training it. Did it, landed it 98% of the time. And then, you have to show the committee, and then they decide what value it's given, whatever. And Marta actually, which was our head coach at the time, the national team head coach, she didn't think I could do it. She's like, no, that's too risky. It's a forward landing. You shouldn't land forward. But I landed it every single time, and I rarely ever fell. And she's like, okay, maybe you should keep that. Let's do it. And then,
okay, maybe you can do this.
Yes. And so then that's when we took it to Worlds and got it named. And then for vault, my other coach, Laurent, actually thought of that. Because I competed a chain in Rio, which is another vault, another half. Less than half twist. And I didn't think, that took me a long time to learn, and I never thought I would upgrade from that vault until he brought me down and then made me start training it, and we competed it. I mean, it's an honor, but I feel like there's always athletes and role models who have paved the way for us. So we wouldn't be very well known if it wasn't for Mary Lorette and all of them. Because they put USA Gymnastics on the map. So I feel like it's almost our duty to keep it up there,
Aw, I love that.
That's at the tone, basically.
They paved the way for y'all. What do you want people to understand about you?
I want people to understand. I feel like at the end of the day, I'm a regular person. I'll wake up, I look just as bad, I have eye bags, I need to run to the grocery store, I'm late for this, I'm late for that. I'm just a normal person. I hit things with my car, like curbs and stuff. Like, I'm not perfect. I think people don't realize, oh, she has this perfect life. But at the end of the day, like, I have mental breakdowns, I'll go cry. You know, my practices aren't always the best. I'm just a normal person. I mean, we'll see. There's a lot of opportunities out there, so I think I have to find what else I'm passionate about. And then we'll go from there, because we still have some time. And I feel like I'm still young for the working field, and most people my age are just about to graduate college and be confused about what they're going to do. So I feel like I'll just enter that world with them.
One key thing that's incredibly striking in this interview is how grounded she is for someone who's been so successful at such a young age. She's had to overcome a number of things, including her upbringing and abuse at the hands of USA gymnastics team doctor. She remains very positive though, and she's considered retirement, and she said this in an interview, but she did say that she felt like her body had been going through a lot and that it was falling apart. But earlier this year, she made an announcement that she would be competing in the 2020 Olympics, which has now been postponed because of the coronavirus pandemic. As always, it's been super fun hanging out with you. You can catch the full team tomorrow. That's Mike, Barry, Poz, Alois, Sean, and myself for another edition of ZiFM Sport. That's tomorrow evening, 6:05. For now, here's the play of the day.